G'day. In this video I'll be showing you how I made this floating rim Purpleheart bowl. So the rim appears to be floating on a resin insert, and this was inspired by the great Australian woodturner Brendan Stemp. So sit back and enjoy. So this is a piece of Purpleheart. It's kiln dried, which I purchased, and I'm going to make a floating rim bowl for my niece. She got married a few months ago, and I promised her a wedding present, so I better do something about it. So you'll see where I've marked out the where the resin's going to go. So now I just have to hollow that section out, pour the resin, and go from there. Okay, so I've mounted it on the worm screw, which is in the chuck, and I've marked out the diameter of the recess. That's going to be the approximate size of the rim, which is on the other side, of course. This line here, which I hope you can see, is the depth of the trench that I cut and filled with resin. I'm not going to show you that. I'm going to let it be a big surprise as I start to shape the bowl from the bottom. So the plan is to make it an OG shape with a wide rim. So obviously this will go as I start to shape the bottom, but it's just going to give me an idea of how wide the rim is going to be on the top. Just a bit of a guide. So anyway, it'll all become clear as I continue on, but I'm going to cut the recess first, get that all set, and then just continue to shape. So I make the recess about 1/8 of an inch deep, which I'll set up on my vernier calipers in a second. So if I remember my maths right, 1/8 of an inch is 0.125 of an inch, which is that deep. So that's what we'll start off with. So I've cut the recess, repositioned the tool rest at the angle to which I'm going to start shaping the bottom of the bowl. So you'll see me just slowly hog away, get the shape. I have to stop and sharpen pretty often. Purpleheart is extremely abrasive, but as you can see it's pretty dry and dusty, but cuts beautifully, but as I say, very abrasive. I'll press on. So here comes the part we've all been waiting for when the resin starts to get exposed. I continue to use the bowl gouge, cutting the resin, but just have to go pretty slowly and make sure it's extremely sharp, because otherwise you start getting chip out. And if you take big chunks out of the resin at this stage, as I'm starting to get down to rib thickness, you can really bugger things up, so I have to be careful. That's a bit better. I'm just going to come in there a bit now to smooth that out. Be awesome. So we're up to the sanding stage. I'll spare you that boring process, but I use the inertia sander quite a bit. But I'll just probably delete all of that and come back at some later stage. So I'm just going to give it a wipe down with some methylated spirits, get rid of some of the dust and raise the grain again. Then carry on with a bit more sanding with, I'm up to 600. So that'll just show you what it's going to look like. Pretty amazing. This will show me where the all the flaws are too. So far, can't see any. Don't shout out if you can.
pretty good. Looks like I'm a bit off centre with the inlay, but I really don't think it'll be noticeable when it's finished and not spinning anymore. Hope not. Anyway, done now. Anyway, I'll let that dry and I'll come back tomorrow. Okay, so this is next day. I've got put sanding sealer on this last night, and now I'm just going to go through the grits from 240 up to 600, and we'll see how it looks.
So after the sanding sealer, I continued sanding. I went all the way up to 1200 grit. I certainly won't bore you with that, so I'll delete the boring bits and come back when I'm just about to put the OB Shine Juice on. So after I finished with the 1200 grit wet and dry, I went on to the micro mesh pads. I think I started around about the middle of the range and went right up to the very fine, which is some ridiculously high number. Bit of overkill maybe, but gee, it came up nice. So here I start to apply the, I thought it was OB Shine Juice I was going to use, but it's not, it's shallow wax. So I think I'll put about 3 or 4 applications of this on and it just comes up beautiful.
I reckon that's pretty good. There's plenty of people who get better finishes than me, but I'm just sort of starting to learn how to do it. But that looks pretty bloody good to me. So I'll come back tomorrow, turn it around, mount it back in the jaws, into the recess, and hollow it out. So see you tomorrow.
So I'm going to start the hollowing process now. I'm just really going to probably delete most of the footage and pretty much go right to the end. I'll leave it running for a little bit now, then I'll go right to the end where I'm applying the finish probably, and I'll see you then. So after lots of hogging out and scraping to refine the shape and get rid of the bumps and stuff, and heaps of sanding onto the micro mesh pads, and so I'll just continue up through the grits with this, and then start to, I guess, apply the shallow wax. So I'll leave you with that.
And that'll be the final finish, and then I can post it off to my niece. She'll be happy, I hope. Oops. What happened there?
Time for a few coats of shallow wax, and we'll be done.
So, it's turned out nice.
So that's the finished project pretty much. I really enjoyed making it. I hope you enjoyed watching it. I'll catch you next time.